Every time your dog stares at your dinner, you probably think it's begging. But what if your dog is actually craving nutrients that processed dog food may not fully provide? Today, you'll discover 16 human foods that can naturally support a healthier coat, stronger body, and overall well-being. Number 1, chicken liver. This first one sounds unpleasant. It isn't. Chicken liver? Say it out loud, and most people wrinkle their nose. But organ meat is where the real nutrition lives, not the muscle meat filling most kibble bags. Liver is packed with iron, B vitamins, and vitamin A at levels far higher than chicken breast. Vets use it specifically for dogs recovering from illness or looking pale and low energy because it rebuilds blood and boosts appetite faster than almost anything else. But there's a catch most owners miss. Too much vitamin A becomes toxic. A small cooked piece, once or twice a week, is plenty. Owners who get the dose right see a dog with brighter eyes and real appetite. Owners who skip it entirely just accept a dog that seems a little tired, a little dull, and never ask why. And if your dog already has kidney issues, skip liver altogether. The extra vitamin A and protein put real strain on organs that are already struggling. Number 2, sardines. Sounds strange, right? Fish for a dog? But canned sardines packed in water are one of the richest natural sources of omega-3s on the planet. Vets have found that dogs given a small amount 2 to 3 times a week show visibly shinier coats within 4 weeks and noticeably less joint stiffness in older dogs. That's faster than most fish oil capsules work, because the omega-3s are already broken down and easy to absorb. Here's the real difference. A dog that gets this consistently moves like it's 5 years younger. A dog that never does starts slowing down quietly, and owners just call it old age. It's not old age, it's a missing nutrient. 1 sardine mashed into the bowl twice a week. That's the whole trick. One line of caution though. If your dog has ever reacted badly to fish, or has a known seafood allergy, skip this one completely. Not every superfood on this list works for every dog. Number 3, pumpkin. Now here's one you've probably heard of, but you're likely using wrong. Plain, canned, 100% pumpkin is what actually works. Not the spiced pie filling loaded with sugar sitting right next to it on the shelf. A single tablespoon mixed into food regulates digestion within about 24 hours, according to veterinary nutritionists, because of its high soluble fiber content. It works both ways too. Loose stool tightens up, constipation loosens. Dogs eating processed kibble alone often deal with quiet stomach issues nobody notices until there's a mess on the carpet. Add pumpkin, and that struggle disappears almost overnight. It's one of the cheapest fixes in this entire list, and one of the most ignored. Most owners spend money on expensive digestive supplements before ever trying the can already sitting in their pantry, and that's the part that stings most. As a regular addition, 1 tablespoon 2 to 3 times a week keeps things steady. But if your dog is diabetic, check with your vet first. Pumpkin still carries natural sugar, and steady doesn't always mean risk-free. Number 4, blueberries. Now something small enough to toss across the room. Blueberries are tiny, easy, and most dogs treat them like candy. But the real reason vets recommend them isn't the taste, it's the antioxidants. Blueberries are loaded with compounds that specifically target brain aging in dogs, the same kind of cognitive decline that shows up as confusion, disorientation, forgetting commands they've known for years. Studies on senior dogs given regular antioxidant-rich foods showed slower rates of cognitive decline compared to dogs on standard diets alone. That means a handful a few times a week isn't just a treat. It's protecting the part of your dog that remembers your voice, your face, your routine. Skip it for years, and that decline creeps in quietly, mistaken for just getting old. 3 or 4 times a week is plenty. One thing though, for small dogs, mash them first. A whole blueberry can be a genuine choking risk for a dog that gulps instead of chews. Number 5, plain Greek yogurt. Here's one that lives in almost every fridge already. Plain Greek yogurt, no sugar, no flavoring, nothing artificial. It's one of the simplest ways to fix a dog's gut from the inside. The probiotics support healthy bacteria in the digestive system. the same bacteria responsible for nutrient absorption and, surprisingly, immune function. Vets have noted that dogs with recurring digestive issues or frequent skin allergies often show improvement within weeks of adding a spoonful daily. A spoonful 3 or 4 times a week is the sweet spot. But dogs that are lactose intolerant, and more dogs are than owners realize, will react with gas or a loose stool. If that happens once, that's your answer. Don't push it. For most dogs, though, that same spoonful stirred into dinner does more for gut health than any pricey supplement on a pet store shelf. It's already in your kitchen. Most owners just never think to use it. Number 6, eggs. This next one gets misunderstood constantly. Eggs, fully cooked, never raw, scrambled, or boiled plain. People assume eggs are risky for dogs. They're not. Cooked properly, they're one of the most complete proteins available, packed with biotin, a nutrient directly tied to coat shine and skin health. Dogs on biotin-deficient diets, which describes a lot of dry kibble, often develop dry, flaky skin and dull fur that owners blame on the weather or the season. Add 1 cooked egg 2 or 3 times a week, and that changes. The protein is also more bioavailable than most meat sources in kibble, meaning the body actually uses more of it instead of wasting it. One catch: dogs prone to pancreatitis should stick to the egg white only. The yolk's fat content can trigger a flare-up fast. Otherwise, it's cheap, it's fast, and it fixes a problem most owners didn't even know had a name. Number 7. Sweet potato. Now one that quietly replaces an entire category of unhealthy treats. Sweet potato, cooked and plain, no butter, no seasoning. It's dense in fiber and vitamin A, and it digests slowly, meaning steady energy instead of the blood sugar spikes that come from processed carb fillers in cheap kibble. Vets recommend it especially for dogs carrying extra weight, because the fiber creates fullness without the calorie load of typical treats. A few cubes replacing store-bought snacks can support real, gradual weight loss over a few months, the kind that doesn't stress the joints the way crash dieting does. A few cubes, 2 to 3 times a week, is enough to see the difference. Dogs with kidney disease or diabetes need to sit this one out, though. The natural sugars and potassium can do more harm than good for those specific conditions. For everyone else, it sounds almost too simple. But dogs fed this way tend to stay leaner longer, move easier, and avoid the joint strain that shortens active years. Number 8. Oatmeal. Here's one built specifically for the itchy, uncomfortable dogs. Plain, cooked oatmeal, no sugar, no flavoring. For dogs with grain sensitivities to wheat or corn, which show up constantly in cheap commercial food, oatmeal is a gentle alternative that's actually soothing rather than irritating. It's rich in soluble fiber and contains compounds that calm inflamed skin from the inside, not just the outside with a bath. Owners dealing with a dog that scratches constantly, chews at its paws, or has patchy fur often see real improvement within a few weeks of adding a small amount regularly. A small spoonful, 2 to 3 times a week, is all it takes. Just watch the portion if your dog already carries extra weight. Oatmeal is calorie dense, and this fix can quietly undo a diet if you're not paying attention. Beyond that, it won't fix everything overnight. But for a dog stuck in a cycle of itching and discomfort, it's often the missing piece nobody thought to try. Number 9. Green beans. This one is almost embarrassingly simple. Plain green beans, steamed or raw, no salt, no seasoning. Low calorie, high fiber, and dogs genuinely enjoy the crunch. Vets often suggest swapping half a dog's usual treat portion for green beans when weight becomes a concern, because the dog still gets volume and satisfaction without the extra calories packed into most commercial treats. These can genuinely be a daily swap. That's how safe they are. Just one rule: skip the canned version sitting in salty brine. Fresh or frozen, plain, is the only version that actually helps instead of loading your dog with sodium. It sounds too easy to actually work, but consistency here matters more than any complicated diet plan. A dog carrying extra weight faces a shorter lifespan and more joint problems, quietly, over years, long before it ever shows on the outside. Something this simple, done consistently, changes that trajectory without a single dramatic change to the routine, and without your dog ever feeling like it's being punished with less food. Number 10. Bone broth. Now here's the one dog trainers guard like a secret weapon. Bone broth, not seasoned, no onion, no garlic, just plain broth simmered from bones. This is the one trainers and breeders quietly rely on, because it does two things at once. It hydrates dogs who don't drink enough water on their own, and it delivers collagen straight to aging joints. The same collagen that thins out as dogs get older and starts showing up as stiffness, slower mornings, hesitation on stairs. A little poured over food, warmed slightly, and most dogs finish the bowl faster than usual. A few spoonfuls, 3 to 4 times a week, or even daily in small amounts, is where most owners land. But dogs with kidney disease or a history of pancreatitis need their vets okay first. The sodium and fat content, even in a plain broth, can be more than a compromised body can handle. For every other dog, vets studying senior joint health have pointed to collagen-rich additions like this as one of the simplest ways to extend comfortable mobile years. It's not flashy, it's not expensive, but it might be the one food on this list that decides whether your dog spends its last years struggling to stand or still chasing you around the yard. Number 11. Carrots. This next one is probably already in your fridge, and you've never thought twice about giving it. Carrots, raw or cooked, are one of the easiest wins on this entire list. The crunch alone scrapes plaque off teeth as your dog chews, doing a small bit of dental work with every bite. They're also loaded with beta-carotene, which supports eye health as dogs get older and their vision starts to fade. These can be a daily treat replacement, cut into sticks or coins depending on the size of your dog. Just one caution. For small breeds or puppies, always cut them small. Whole baby carrots are a real choking hazard. And if your dog is diabetic, stick to raw rather than cooked. Cooking raises the natural sugar content more than most owners realize. Number 12. Turkey. This next one people only think about once a year, around Thanksgiving, and that's honestly a mistake. Plain, cooked turkey, no skin, no bones, no seasoning, is one of the leanest proteins you can give a dog, and it's gentle on stomachs that struggle with richer meats. 2 to 3 times a week, swapped in for a regular meal, gives real variety without upsetting digestion. The rules here matter though. Never give turkey skin. The fat content is far higher than people expect. And never give cooked bones. They splinter and can cause serious internal damage. Skip deli turkey entirely too. It's usually loaded with sodium and sometimes onion or garlic powder, both of which are genuinely toxic to dogs. Number 13. Apples. Now one that works almost like a natural toothbrush. Apple slices, always with the core and seeds removed completely, because apple seeds contain trace amounts of a compound that breaks down into cyanide, and while one seed won't hurt, it's simply not worth the risk. Once that's handled, apples are genuinely great. The fiber supports digestion, and the crunch scrapes at plaque while freshening breath. Most owners pay good money to fix with treats. A few slices, 2 to 3 times a week, is plenty. Diabetic dogs should keep portions small though. Apples still carry natural sugar, and what's a fine treat for a healthy dog can spike blood sugar in one that isn't. Number 14. Broccoli. This one comes with a real warning label, so pay attention here. Broccoli, in small amounts, offers fiber and vitamin C, and plenty of dogs handle it just fine. But broccoli contains a compound that in large amounts can cause real stomach irritation, gas, and discomfort. The rule here is strict. Broccoli should never make up more than a small fraction of a meal. Treat it as an occasional bite, once a week at most, not a regular addition. If your dog already has a sensitive stomach or a history of digestive issues, it's honestly easier to skip this one and choose a gentler vegetable from elsewhere on this list. Number 15. Salmon. Now, one that sounds like a repeat of an earlier food, but it isn't, and the difference here genuinely matters. Salmon, always fully cooked, never raw, never smoked. Raw salmon can carry a parasite that leads to a condition vets call salmon poisoning, and left untreated, it can actually be fatal within 2 weeks. Cooked properly though, salmon is one of the richest sources of omega-3s available, supporting the brain, joints, and coat all at once. A small portion, once or twice a week, boneless and skinless. is enough to see real results in coat shine and mobility over about a month. This is one where cutting corners on preparation isn't a small mistake. It's the entire difference between a superfood and a genuine emergency. Number 16, guava. And here's the one worth saving for last. Guava, ripe, peeled, seeds completely removed. It's not something most dog owners have ever even considered, but it's packed with vitamin C and fiber, and vets studying antioxidant-rich fruits have pointed to guava as one of the more overlooked immune boosters out there. A few small pieces, once or twice a week, is where this one belongs, not more. The fiber content is high enough that overdoing it usually ends in loose stool by the next morning. The seeds are non-negotiable. They need to come out completely. Swallowed whole, they're a genuine blockage risk, especially in smaller dogs. Get the amount and the prep right, and it's one of the quietest ways to support a dog's immune system, long after most owners have stopped thinking about what else they could be doing. 16 foods is a lot to keep straight, and throwing all of them at your dog randomly isn't the same as doing this right. Some of these shouldn't land on the same day. Some need spacing out through the week so nothing gets overdone. If you want the actual rotation plan, which food goes on which day, so you're never guessing, comment rotation below and I'll walk you through it. That single word tells me you're actually about to try this, not just scrolling past it. So comment it now before you forget and this becomes just another video you watched.